Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. I'm here in Daly's place, just trying to get some privacy. I'll be headed to the vehicle, the car studio in a moment. But I figured I'd at least show you what it's like in here. After, uh, uh, for the go home day, because that would be right. So, as is off rampage down, which is only about a week. Folks. Yeah. All right. I'm back. So my eye is killing me. I don't know if I have what Chris Jericho had some type of pink eye or red eye or whatever the fuck guy. Just my right eye is like I feel like fucking Popeye now. Doing and I'm from the show, believe it or not. So I might just do that for you, fine folks. I'll see if I can find anything that maybe you didn't see earlier or whatever. Um, Fun times, I thought. Fun times. good go home show, as they call it. But of course, as I was saying before we were cut off, um, the shtick is they're doing a Rampage live on Friday night in Orlando. So, um, well, I guess I can't have this video. I thought I would. I'll put on the YouTube later. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. We'll have more things. Like I said, if you want to comment. Uh, my buddy had some friends watching this show tonight on TV. My buddy Crosby, Ian Patrick Gagnon was watching, I'm sure. But here I was, folks. So here's the age old question: why go to a show live when you can just see it on television for free? And God, my eye looks horrible. Um, I guess the reason is to be part of the live show experience, to feel like you're part of something, which I think AEW does a pretty damn good job here at Jacksonville. Now, this is kind of the de facto or default home of AEW because of during the pandemic. So many shows were here, and I started coming in February of 2020 to the shows here at Daly's Place. Laurent's my buddy from Australia, Timey Kangaroo Down. Good day, all the way. Greetings from Bisbane, QLD, Australia. Now, is QLD like what's that, like a province? I'm not sure how Australia works. Here in the United States, we have states. In Canada, I think they have provinces. Isn't that it? What do you have in Australia, buddy? QLD, I'm just kind of curious. Brisbane, I'm probably not even saying it right. Brisbane, QLD, Australia. For those of you that don't know, my buddy Lawrence is an actor here. He does make some nice movies. He does some good acting, and he also has a pro wrestling group on Facebook. Lawrence's Pro Wrestling Group on Facebook. I think I got that right. I think you have a mixed martial arts group as well that I'm in. Uh, do I have any thoughts on any MMA stuff right now? And QLD means Queensland. Oh, great. Very good. I like it. Okay. So I'm trying to think if there's any MMA stuff going on in the world that I should talk about. I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Uh, what else? It's fun. Tony Khan. I might have to talk to this guy because at the end of the show tonight here at AEW, Tony came out kind of soaking in the glow. He's the new owner of Lawrence. I don't know if you want to know this spoiler. I don't know if you're getting AEW, but I'm going to have to say the big announcement Tony Khan made was that here it comes. Here's the announcement. Tony Khan has purchased, as of today, the paperwork is signed. Tony Khan is the new owner of Ring of Honor Wrestling, a group that started in 2002. I was actually in attendance for some of their early shows. Um, and he's the owner now. So he owns this company, and I don't know exactly what he gets with that. Hopefully, the videotape library. Thanks, buddy. Gave your video a share on Laz's Pro Wrestling fan group in my Facebook wall on Facebook. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that, bro. One day we'll have to make a movie together of some kind. My eyes are killing me. Uh, something in there. I'll say this about Jacksonville: people smoke a lot of fucking pot in Jacksonville, like a lot of goddamn marijuana. I mean, it's basically like 5 o'clock tonight. I was going to a grocery store and then Subway sandwich, just in the middle of the fucking day, 5 o'clock, which is still daylight here. Marijuana throughout the parking lot in the fucking middle of the day at a goddamn supermarket. Hey, my buddy Adam Devoy, I haven't seen you here in a while, buddy. Is it really a good thing that Mr. Mark bought ROH? That's just one less place to go. But then again, ROH hasn't been relevant since 2016. Okay, let's break this down, brother. Adam's a good guy. Adam's a Floridian, I believe, but he's in the Panhandle, which is another part of Florida towards Alabama. Adam was also a nice guy who got me a bunch of stuff from his weekend with Conrad Thompson at the Top Guys Festival and sent me a bunch of stuff. We have that video, an unboxing video. It was a lot of fun. Uh, yes, Laurence. So let's talk about this ROH thing. Uh, well, let's put it this way. Wasn't it 3 or 4 months ago? Was it December that ROH had like the end of the road show? They had like a pay per view, and they had already allowed their talents to go elsewhere. Um, I don't think ROH had anything going on I don't think any. I mean, let's put it this way. I think it's better, Adam, that Tony bought ROH rather than fucking Junior and the Brats, right? You know, so I mean, if that's the only choice, if it's a two-party choice, I mean, I'm glad because if the ROH library went to Vince, then and I'm surprised. You know, I don't know if WWE made a run for it or not, but can you imagine if Vince just had the ROH library, just be another thing on the Peacock or the WWE network? So I think there's more potential for ROH either to be revived as a full time company. All this talent that's now with AEW. I mean, we've all been bitching. Oh my God, they've got too much talent. Where's Jay Lethal? Where's this one? Where's Brian Cage? Even Cody, Adam, your buddy Cody. Now that we've got ROH, could some of these guys, including Cody, including Brian Cage, Jay Lethal, Christopher Daniels looked pretty good tonight, wrestling Brian Danielson in the opening match. He could resume full time wrestling. A lot of guys, Frankie Kazarian, even some of the Dark Order guys, John Silver, guys that haven't been used in AEW, could easily migrate over to a new rebooted ROH, and then we could see if they, exact. Well, here, okay, I got all these wonderful comments, guys. I'm gonna take them one. You're next, buddy. ROH could be run as a developmental league for AEW. Would that be smart? Yes, it would be a smart use, Laurence. I think a developmental league, but just like a side league, like try to make it so that it's not NXT WWE. It's not a feeder league. It's an alternative to the fucking alternative. And if Jim Ross, if you listen to his podcast, he always talks about how he wanted UWF to be like that for WCW or Jim Crockett Promotions in '87, and just Dusty or whoever booked all the UWF guys to lose all the time to the WCW guys, the NWA guys. Well, I think Tony might have learned from those mistakes. Tony listens to all these fucking podcasts, and he's got the benefit of having JR right there. Why not set up ROH as just a separate company? And of course, you can have talents go back and forth, but maybe not have it be like they're always mixed. You know what I mean? I think it'd be fine. Let's hope he don't bury ROH because Vince buried WCW and watered down ECW as so-called third brand. Uh, Good Fear won. And look, Tony Khan is Tony Khan. He's not Vince McMahon. I don't think Tony has the ego of Vince. Here's the thing: it was that pay-per-view where like the Big Show beat GQ Marshall and CM Punk beat Darby Allin and Ruby Soho won the Women's Battle Royal, and there was another thing where like WWE people won. You know what I mean? And I think it was the night that Brian Danielson debuted and Adam Page debuted, uh, and Adam Cole actually. Sorry, Adam Cole. When all those guys came over that pay per view, so that's going back like two or three pay per views. I made the comment that too many guys went over, and I would have preferred if one. You could have easily had QT Marshall beat the Big Show, beat Paul White, just to even it out a little bit. So my point is, it's the pattern of behavior for Tony Khan is to put new guys over, regardless of where they're coming from. Hey, what's my buddy doing here? The All About Wrestling podcast, AEW All Out. Thank you. Yes, you. So that's the pay per view I'm talking about from last summer. There was two that were great pay per views at the end of 2021. So I think it was All Out is like two pay per views ago. And that's what's my buddy got to say here. We all should have saw it coming with Punk and Danielson being the first two inductees into RH. Good point. Both currently in AEW. Yeah, good point, buddy. But they've also been pretty. My eye is just bothering me. Anyone have a spare eye they can give me? So, Jesus. Being that the big leagues have signed ROH talent for years, it has been a feeder league in a way for the bigger leagues. So think AEW tapped into that. Of course. Yeah, great point, Laurence. And not only that, but let's talk about the video library. who was it? Was it Laurent Slaza Johnson? Made the W run a network. God, I just had your goddamn comment. Will AEW run a network like the WWE network, and will ROH be on it? I would say eventually, and yes, because if Tony has bought the league, has bought ROH, here's an interesting thing. I think there's some division in their tape library. I could be wrong. Like I want to, maybe it was 2016, but maybe when they were owned by Sinclair Broadcasting, I think that there is some type of division in the tape library of ROH based on years. Yeah, I was saying that. I was saying that all about wrestling podcast. I was thinking that too. Cody, this whole Cody Brian Cage thing, people are thinking this is a conspiracy. I can see Cody showing up. If you wash your eyes out with milk, it will make that burning go away from the weed. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I just don't have any milk on me. I'm not much of a milk drinker. Hold on, guys. I think I have to. I want to show you a clip. Let me just show you a clip. I want to get something for my nose. I'm just going to show you a little wrestling clip. Don't leave. I'm just going to show you a little clip. Okay. So here's a little take. Jeez. Oh, for Christ's sake. Hold on. Here's another clip. Jamie Hayter. Hold on. Okay. That came in. Will Tony buy Impact next? Yeah, I mean, look, bro, the guy's got a lot of fucking money. I mean, I think that's one thing I've been saying that, some people want to hear it, some people don't. But when people talk about, oh my God, Tony Khan's hiring too much talent and AEW is not getting enough ratings, so they're losing money. They're not losing money because Tony Khan basically has like a lot of fucking money. Like his father, I looked it up. His father, Shad Khan, is the 94th most rich guy in the United States. 94th. Actually, 90. Yeah, it was like 94th in the United States and like 270th, 70th in the whole world. So these guys have a lot of money. So paying 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 pro wrestlers is not that hard for them. Now, granted, if they're paying everyone 5 million a year, sure, that's a dumb move. But I mean, how much do you think they're paying Rebel? You know what I mean? How much do you think they're paying Jamie Hayter? I mean, Dr. Britt's probably getting a good paycheck now, but I don't know. And these wrestlers, trust me, these AEW wrestlers are like veal. I mean, they're wrestling about 4 times a month at the most. You know what I mean? And so forth. I'm not sure if you mean the little video clips I added, buddy. I will. Those are some old clips from previous tapings, but I will have stuff even on the subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel tonight. Tony Khan has a lot of Bitcoin too, big crypto guy, interesting. Yeah, he's got a lot of dough. And so let's go back to the question. Well, yeah, good point. All about being on TV is enough for most of them. That's true. A lot of these wrestlers live for fame, not for money. You know what I mean? Um, let's see what else. God, I'm gonna have to wash my eyes out with milk at some point. Jesus, I just wish I had a fucking cow or something, some type of milk source. Excuse me, Mr. Cow. Can you put some fucking milk in my eye? Jesus. People wonder why do we drink cow's milk anyway? Because we're not little cows. Ugh. I've been drinking soy milk with Total Cereal recently. Just so you know, but I share that. Good show though tonight. Let me get back to just talk about the show. They did do a nice Scorpio Sky match. Scorpio Sky versus the Captain. Do you think Tony Khan is becoming pro wrestling's Dana White? Ooh, good question. Well, their outgoing personalities are much different. Dana's very abrasive and abusive almost with his skills and talking. He's very he's swearing oriented. Dana White. I think Tony. Uh, I think Tony is, although he has done some character stuff with, especially with the Impact stuff last summer. I think Tony Khan is more of a puppeteer master because you got to remember he's doing the Jacksonville Jaguars and the fucking soccer teams and all that other stuff, or football teams if you want to call it that. But for me, I mean, I think they're different personality types. But I don't know if that answers your question. Do you think Tony Khan is becoming pro wrestling's Dana White? Maybe he is because he's doing a pretty good job and he's bucking the system. Or I don't know if they call the WWE the system. Here's the thing, folks. There's a whole generation of guys that kind of grew up with just WWE, 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 and a little bit of TNA. Like TNA Impact Wrestling was such a minor thing by comparison. Although 2005 to maybe 2009 or 10, they had some really good years in there creatively, and we're doing some good things. Um, and had action figures. I mean, at one point, the TNA group took over the action figures from Jax, if you remember that. Like Jax and TNA wrestling, they basically switched companies with the WWE. So I mean, you had some really badass uh, TNA action figures, I think, from the Jax company for a couple of years. So the point is, TNA was kind of a worthy competitor for a smidgen of time, and never challenging WWE like WCW did, but still they were alternative. But a lot of people didn't really buy into that, or a lot of people didn't watch TNA, and it was never really the same. Like the TNA Impact was never like WCW as far as an opposition to WWE. So a lot of people just kind of grew up that whatever WWE did was right, or that's the way wrestling's supposed to be. I mean, there's things like, is the main event always the last match on the show? And WWE fans of a certain age will say yes, yes, yes. But if you talk to older WWE fans, even, they'll tell you that Bob Backlund used to wrestle fifth match on the show. Hulk Hogan even wrestled fifth match on the show. The reason why is because they would have some type of dorky DQ finish, Magnificent Baracco beating Hulk Hogan by countout in Madison Square Garden. And then they would go to fucking intermission. They'd go to intermission and say, well, guess what, folks? We've just discovered that we've got a contract. Hulk Hogan has agreed to sign to wrestle Don Morocco in a lumberjack match next month. Buy your tickets tonight before you leave the arena. Buy them at the intermission or whatever the fuck. So the point is, if you were just growing up in the 90s and just seeing wrestling on pay-per-view was like the big thing, your vision of what wrestling is warped by that modality. Okay. If you happen to live a little bit longer and you remember the territory days, the smoke filled arena days, things were about the box office for the fucking monthly shows. And so it's just, and I kind of grew up when things were changing. So I caught the last bit of the era. Okay. I'm the last real wrestling fan. Both Tony Khan and Dana White seem to throw a lot of money around. Well, yes. And it takes money to make money. I'm not a rich guy. I'm not rolling in dough, but I kind of know how these rich assholes think because I do know some rich fucks. And they just think in different ways. They're not afraid to spend money because they have more of it to lose. And they know that if they want to win big, they got to lose big sometimes. Would love Tony Khan or Dana White to throw me some money. Me too, Lawrence. Me too. Trust me. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this YouTube channel, gentlemen, and it's not a secret, but it's to try to generate some money through the YouTube, try to get some attention to my books, A Distance from Avalon, When the Dying and the Dead Reunite, which some of you need to still purchase, okay? And I'm selling things on fucking eBay now. I'm trying to do all these goddamn things to further my adventures. Avalonia Festival. Hold on a moment. I'm still here. I'm still talking. Avalonia Festival, you should know. I have my own film festival. I run Lawrence. You should enter that. Uh, if you want to enter a film or two, let me know. I'll get you a promo code. Uh, so forth. But to make money, you have to spend money. And these assholes, Dana Whites, the Tony Khans, they're not afraid to spend money and so forth. And granted, Tony Khan is the Richie Rich, and I've said it. I'm an AEW fan, but he's the Richie Rich of pro wrestling. You know what I mean? Like he's born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's playing with his action figures, and I just happen to enjoy what he's doing for the most part. So what can you say? You know what I mean? Hold on. God, fuck. Holy shit. God damn it all. Fuck. My fuck. Here we go.
You know, or he should not, or he should stand penny up and then something. But the whole, to me, the story development is he's in a quagmire.
Yeah.
He's a
All right, back to me. Sorry, guys. If you want to see the Suicide Girls burlesque, you can easily watch. You know, all that stuff is on my subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. I have these little clips that I insert, and my face is just totally fucked now because that weed or whatever the fuck is going on. It's just in my fucking eyes. Although I'm starting to regain my eyesight. I feel like Jake the Snake Roberts coming back to WrestleMania fucking 7. I just need Rick Martel to come out here and fucking hit me with some arrogance in the face. You know what I mean? Here's what I like to do. I like to have a cold beverage in my car when I go into Daly's place. I don't like buying anything in there because it's so goddamn overpriced. Thanks, Tony Khan. And then I come back and I have my drink after. Anyway, trying to think if there's any other. The tag team battle royal tonight was kind of a lot of fun. Did you see that, guys? Did you see the tag team battle royal? Get some more comments here. Let's see. The tag team battle royal and the Young Bucks, not surprisingly. Keep us posted with your film festival stuff, etc. Well, AvaloniaFestival.com, AVALONIA Festival.com. Next, it's had it for 7 years. The eighth one, or the seventh one, is coming up, I should say. This was smart to give AEW the ability to basically buy years of existence. This was smart to give AEW the ability to buy basically years of existence in the form of ROH's history, which gives AEW a bought history for the promotion. Very well stated, Adam DeMoy. Despite what Tony Schiavone says about you, buddy, I think you're onto something. Tony was here tonight, too. Good point, Adam. Really good point there, buddy. Because now they have this lineage that goes back to 2002, and that's older than some wrestling fans at this point. You know what I mean? I mean, tonight there was probably a 7 or 8 year old girl sitting in front of me with her father, and they were having a great time. So, I mean, a young wrestling fan in training, okay, which was nice to see. So, yeah, I mean, it's a smart move for Tony Khan's part. What do I think he paid for it? Nobody asked, but I guess I'll guess. I'm gonna say 10 million or less. You know what I mean? I can easily see him paying 10 or 15 million or less. And if you think about the streaming services, the possibility, depending on how much content he gets, because once again, I've seen on these TV networks, like the pro wrestling stuff, when you have the free TV here, or the smart TV in the United States, Lawrence, we get all these fucking weird channels now that aren't even cable. They're just like kind of weird pseudo broadcast channels on smart TVs. And there's one that's a whole pro wrestling channel. And you can see all this old Impact Wrestling and TNA Wrestling from the 8, 10, 6 years ago. I mean, I was watching a Santana and Ortiz match from some bar a few weeks ago on that thing. They have old Impact Wrestling pay-per-views like from 2010, 2012. So my point is, I'm not sure exactly what Tony Khan got for his money. I'm assuming, I don't know if he got any wrestlers' contracts because I thought they were all released. I don't know if he's getting any rings. I don't know if he's getting any type of distribution deal. What did he get for his money? That's a great question. It's kind of like what did Billy Corgan get for the National Wrestling Alliance? That reminds me that I'm going to have to sign up and get that NWA deal, $49.99 for a year's worth of pay-per-views and weekly shows from National Wrestling Alliance. And I am kind of excited about that Crockett Cup. Jeff Jarrett's been announced as a special guest referee for the Matt Cardona versus what's his dick match, Nick Aldis, who I read his book. Nice book. I thought about going to that, to be honest with you. I thought about making a pilgrimage to Nashville for that, but I don't think I'm going to. You think this is another reason Cody departed? Good question, buddy. I think, one, I would say that it's more like if Cody is doing an angle, and supposedly there was some interview that Cody Rhodes had that I didn't hear the interview, but I heard a quote that Cody was saying he was going to be involved in some very unique angle coming up. I'm not sure why he, showed his hand though. But maybe Cody is part of this ROH thing, and it's got nothing to do. Maybe Cody's not going to WWE. I mean, I'm still kind of waiting to see what happens. If done right, would be cool to see an NWO versus WWE storyline with ROH versus AEW. It could be cool. It could be good. But here's an idea. How about they establish ROH first for like 2 years? Why rush this thing? Because if you think about the WCW invasion angle in ECW from 2001 era, and that's kind of like the bridge between the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era in WWE world, is that invasion angle. Like that's what kind of filled that gap of time. But it wasn't well executed. But imagine if they had actually put ECW and WCW on TV, the Sci-Fi Channel or whatever the fuck, for a couple of years, or even on the internet. Imagine if they had done that and build up a competitor, and then did the angle instead of just rushing it. So if they do an ROH invasion angle with, which is not a bad idea, by the way, it's a good idea, but just slow down the pace a little. In Impact, they do have Honor No More, so it is kind of happening in Impact, but would be cool to see on a bigger level with ROH versus AEW. You're right. And you know what? Even in Rhode Island, believe it or not, they had this group up there that a friend of mine introduced me to. It was, I want to see the XWA. Nice people that ran it at the time, but this is going back 3 or 4 years ago. They would bring in guys like Paul London, who ended up crashing in my apartment, believe it or not, for a night. Nice guy, real cool guy. And they had this fucking thing with like the ring announcer from ROH. I'm trying to remember. I want to get his name right, but just, but they was like, you would go to this fucking XWA show and they do like 20 or 30 minutes of fucking promos with the Ring of Honor ring announcer. And it's like, sorry, but nobody thinks this is a good angle except the assholes that are doing it. You know what I mean? So some of these invasion angles, if you have the guns, meaning the actual fucking wrestlers, yes, do it. But if you just have a fucking ring announcer, don't. I'm going to have to go back to my nose blowing. I'm going to give you another clip, gentlemen. Here's that Raven thing I'll try to show you.
Or he should not, or he should stand Penny up and then something. But to me, the story development is he's in a quagmire.
Yeah.
He's a loser because he's in a quagmire. The book's trying to get him out of it. The book senses he needs a life, and then he wants Penny, but finds he can get laid and become popular, and that almost blows it with Penny.
Right.
And then he realizes what he really wanted all along was Penny. Or he thinks he wants to get laid, and he also wants Penny.
Right.
And then it's a matter of, do I want to get laid or do I want Penny?
Right.
And then he chooses getting laid first, and with all the benefits of it, finding out that, that's why it really needed a script rewrite. But we can get close enough to there. So,
Okay.
All right. So let's go to Big Scary Dude.
Oh boy, yeah. So that's Chris and the Coffee Girl teaser. The views for that are not very good, gentlemen. So I'm going to encourage you, if you haven't. I mean, it's a different side of Raven. It's a different side of your buddy Mike Messier. Chris and the Coffee Girl, the Philadelphia Experiment. 4 episodes you can watch here for free. Share if you like Laurence and everybody. Let's see some more comments here. Let's see. Laurence has got another comment. Could use history for heat with the elite, leaving ROH to help create AEW. Use that for an ROH versus AEW angle. Okay, I got that. Could use the history of for heat. I got this with the elite, which I would. It's kind of like Cody though. Cody's kind of associated with that. Wasn't Cody in the elite? Wasn't the elite like? I mean, I think the original elite was Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. That was like the actual elite. And then I want to say Hangman Page and Cody were kind of periphery guys. So I don't know if there's like an official ranking, but I mean, I think Cody was kind of the fourth or the fifth man. But in any event, yeah, the elite leaving ROH to help create AEW. I like it. I like it. I mean, it's good stuff. I sent the well. You can send the whole episode if you want. I don't know if Joe. I've never spoken to Joe Feeney. I mean, I've listened to the Raven podcast a couple of times. I think they're good guys. I don't know if Raven would be too pleased about this development that I've released this material. I like Raven, obviously. I've hired him for the fucking audio voiceovers. He's a great wrestler. Raven, Sandman, Raven, Tommy Dreamer, and the whole comedic. The point is with Chris and the Coffee Girl. Trying to get that fucking movie made, and really it's been like a fucking dead for 10 years. So I figured if I release this footage of this comedy between Raven and myself, maybe that would be a catalyst, a flicker to get this thing flamed. And that's the whole point. So but I hope Raven sees it that way. If not, I'm sure he'll DDT me into the fucking oblivion. But Raven's a great wrestler. He's a very talented guy. He is a genius. He'll be the first one to tell you that. But he's cool. He's a cool dude, and I think he's perfect for the pickup artist book, and I stand by that. And I'd love to work with Raven. But the point is, with a guy like Raven, you're going to have that money. It all goes back to that. Let's get Tony Khan on the fucking phone, Adam, or your buddy uh, fucking Conrad Thompson. Have them fund these goddamn movies. How are you going to frame the Tony Khan purchase on the AEW Apologist show? Well, that's what it all comes down to, right? So I've got the whole weekend to figure that one out. What I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's just it's what do you call it? It's free democracy. It's capitalism. Like I said, I think it's better that Tony buys it than Vince, because if WWE with all their shit, they get the Smoky Mountain footage, they get the Mid South footage. I'm not sure if they have world class footage. I don't think they do. I don't think they own the world class library. Or I think they do own the world class library now. Actually, I enjoyed ECW invading WWF and all their stuff with Jerry Lawler and the USWA back in the day. If AEW did an ROH versus AEW angle based on some real life heat like that, could be interesting. Yeah, it could. I mean, it really could. But here's the thing, guys. Ready? Maybe you guys know the answer and I don't. Who the fuck is left in ROH? You know what I mean? Because when I think of like that Moose guy, he's Impact now. But who is in ROH? But I thought they released all their talent. I mean, the only thing I can see is if they make Jay Lethal like the fucking ambassador of ROH, give him something to do. But I don't know. I mean, I like I said, I'd rather see them build up if they're going to move forward with ROH and have ROH be a separate entity and not just a video category, a video library. I guess I would personally rather to see them build up ROH first before you have the invasion angle. Well, guys, it's hitting the 40-minute mark. I think I'm going to wrap this up. My eye's still fucking killing me. I have to drive home. I know these people here in the Daly's fucking place, they want to go home. So they're probably waiting for me to get the fuck out of here. But it was a good show tonight. The tag team battle royal thing, or whatever the fuck it was kind of my favorite. Tay Conti, was she even there tonight? No, I guess she wasn't. But it was a fun night. Blah blah blah. No Jade Cargill tonight. But Dr. Britt was in the house. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, gentlemen. Thanks for participating. Interactive fun.